Here we will be discussing about the gametophyte of the Pinus. A spore is the first phase of the gametophytic generation, as we all know. Microspore or the pollen grain represent the male gametophyte, while the megaspore represents the first stage of the female gametophyte. Here we will be discussing first the development of the male gametophyte, which takes place in two stages, that is before pollination and after pollination. So here we will begin with the first stage, that is before pollination. This is the microspore. The basic pattern of the development of the male gametophyte of Pinus is similar to that what we saw in case of Cycas. Pollen grains undergo endosporic development, that is they are going to develop within the spore, leading to formation, and that is the pollen nucleus is going to divide. Okay. Yeah. This nucleus of this pollen grain is going to divide and lead to formation of what is called as two cell. First prothallal cell, which is at the proximal end, and the central cell, which is at the distal end. Now this central cell will, first prothallal cell won't show any further division, whereas the central cell is going to divide further and leading to formation of second prothallal cell and the larger antheridial initial cell. This first prothallal and second prothallal cell, they are ephemeral in nature, in the sense they are not going to last for a very long time. Their lifespan is of a very short duration. Further, this antheridial initial cell will undergo further division, leading to formation of what is called as antheridial cell and a tube cell. So at this stage we can say this pollen grain is having four cells, that is two prothallal cell, which they have written it is going to disorganize, in the sense that is what I mentioned, ephemeral, that is they are short lived, they are going to disorganize. Prior to that, but we have these two prothallal cell and one antheridial cell and another one tube cell. So in the whole there are four cells. The microspore at this four cell stage, they are released by the break opening of that sac called as microsporangium. The dispersal of the pollen grains takes place with the help of the wind. The microspores are released at this four cell stage, that is two prothallal, one antheridial and one tube cell. This antheridial cell is further going to divide and it is going to form a stalk and the body. Body is going to form what is called as a male gametes, whereas this tube cell is going to form the pollen tube. These are the developments till the release at the four cell stage is the development before pollination, whereas after pollination this antheridial cell is going to divide and form stalk and body cell, and this tube cell is going to form the pollen tube. This development will be after pollination. So this is a schematic view where things are very clear. Here we have this pollen nucleus, it is going to divide into first prothallal and central further divide into second prothallal and antheridial initial is going to further divide into antheridial cell and tube cell. So this was the first phase, that is before pollination. And after pollination, this tube cell is going to form the pollen tube. They haven't mentioned here, but it is going to form the pollen tube, whereas this antheridial cell is going to form the stalk and spermatogenous cell, that is stalk cell and the body cell. Body cell has got another name as a spermatogenous cell. This spermatogenous cell is going to form two male gametes, which are non-motile in nature. So this was a description regarding the development of the male gametophyte before and after pollination. After pollination, this four cell stage, two prothallal, one antheridial, that is two prothallal, one antheridial cell and tube cell, four cell stage is released. This four-celled microspore, it is going to rest in the pollen chamber. We have seen the pollen chamber also. So this white color structure, this is pollen chamber. It is going to rest here. This resting period may last from 1 year to 11 months. The pollen are going to rest over there, and later on they are going to develop in the next spring. The tube cell of the pollen is going to come out in the form of a pollen tube. This pollen tube, see here, pollen tubes. This pollen tube, they proceeds towards the archegonium here, the archegonium, where usually the female gamete is present. How? By penetrating the nuclear tissue. Sorry. I don't know where that went now. Okay, fine. We'll continue with this only. They are going to form the pollen tube is going to grow towards the archegonium. How? By penetrating the nuclear tissue of the ovule. And the antheridial cell, as I said, it is going to form the stalk cell and the spermatogenous cell or a body cell, which are going to develop further into male gametes. And these male gametes are non-motile, and even they are short-lived, that is ephemeral in nature. So these are the different stages of male gametophyte of Pinus. Thank you.